Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, our final episode of the 2021 ENGEN Pitch and Polish program and competition. That's right, tonight is a culmination of all these weeks of blood, sweat and tears for our finalists. Who will be crowned this year's winner? Will it be Omar of Plus Fab, or will it be Peter and Filion of Gujju? Or will our wildcard Lemo from Urban Mobility blow away the competition and cause a major upset? Hold on tight, it's going to be an epic ride. Hello from me, I'm CZ James, and we have a cracking episode for you tonight. First though, instead of hearing about the sponsors from me, here's a couple of short messages from our sponsors to you and our finalists.
They say every cloud has a silver lining. We literally stepped into the unknown and got ENGEN Pitch and Polish through the digital format. What a surprise. What a success. As ENGEN Petroleum, we are really proud of this amazing program. The ENGEN Pitch and Polish 2021 has not only been successful, it has delivered far more than what we expected. And I really thank each and every participant that has had the opportunity to come and learn and refine their business ideas, their dreams, and the viewers at home that had an opportunity to utilize the moment to learn and sharpen their ideas as well. What a journey. We're happy that we have been able to empower as many people. And ultimately, all the successes that we see will yield to more jobs being created by these amazing entrepreneurs. So as we come to the close of this amazing program, we would love to wish our amazing finalists, Lemo, Omar and Gujju, all the best. May the best person win.
I'm standing in the spot where entrepreneurs have been standing for the last couple of weeks. It is a daunting place to be. It's different to be on the other side of the fence. And I must commend every single entrepreneur that has stood in the spot and has given it their best and pitched their heart out around their dream and around where they see their business going. It has been an absolute privilege from Nedbank's perspective to be involved in Pitch and Polish again. We have seen the entrepreneurs grow, and it goes beyond just the return on investment. It's really the heart connection that we make with the entrepreneurs through this journey. We'd love to wish Omar, Gujju, and Limu the very best in the final episode. Guys, you've got this. Take it.
It's hard to believe that it's been more than 3 months since we embarked on this pitching journey together. Let's take a look at how things have played out since that first episode. We started with 16 contestants, divided into 4 groups of 4. The red, blue, green and yellow groups. The first 2 rounds saw 2 contestants from each of those groups being knocked out of the competition, leaving us with 8 contestants going into the second round. The remaining contestants from each group went head to head in the second round to decide the top 4 who will be competing in the semi-final. And last week, we learned which of our semi-finalists made it through to tonight's final. Oh, and of course, we met our wildcard, Lemo. Now that we're down to our final 3, we decided to catch up with our contestants in their place of business. Let's check out our first contestants for tonight, Peter and Filion.
Oh hi, welcome to Gujju. Please step inside.
This is the community shop that we created. It's almost like a little factory outlet. It's well supported. We even stock other brands like low-carb bread and so on, just to make it worth it for them to come and visit us. But this is not where it started. We have very humble beginnings. Let me show you where it all started. Everything you see here in this little factory happened in this little space over here. We had the opportunity to take over a space next to ours, and it expanded from a tiny little kitchen into something a lot bigger. Filion, why don't you show them?
Follow me. This was a kickboxing studio, and in the second year of COVID, we decided to take over the kickboxing studio after the kickboxing studio did not make it. And we are busy here with manufacturing of our cordials this side we have our 750 milliliter cordials, where it gets labeled currently. And on this side we have our small mini bottles, the 50 milliliters. Well, I just lost my dad last week, and he always said, follow your dreams. I completed my studies, and he was one of our biggest supporters. He always wanted to know everything, and when there's anything that he could do, he was on it. We're doing a couple of markets in George where they used to stay, and he was my go-to guy to manage all the markets that we did there. So we're going to miss him in the Gujju team, and yeah, they loved us, and they were with us every single step of the way.
Our family couldn't believe the success that we showed. You know, throughout the journey, they followed us and really avid supporters, and we couldn't ask for better.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't come this far, I would always be so grateful for what we've learned there. It was so empowering when we were actually forced to sit down and now do the numbers and you work it out. It was so empowering to know what's going on in your business.
And to know that we are almost following the right direction. We're almost there.
It's just been such a comforting confirmation that, okay, we're going to be okay.
We're doing it right, yeah.
Thanks a lot for inviting me on the Cape Town field trip, guys. So no dinner with the semi-finalists, and now no invitation to the beach. I mean, their business. Before we get into Peter and Viljoen's last pitch of the competition, let's find out how they're feeling pre-pitch.
Well, I think they've done an amazing job. Like you say, we've had some ups and downs. It's been emotional at times, but I think we've always worked well together as a team.
You tend to cover things that you are emotional about, and what Daryl showed us is to, you know, look at the business from the outside in. And, you know, when you're so busy in your business, you kind of just lose it. So it was really interesting to look at that from almost a bird's eye view. And that is what changed a lot, because you can be more objective and cover the things that are really important and not what you are emotional about.
I think we know our business. We know what to pitch now. They can throw anything at us now. We'll be able to answer it, and we'll be able to just talk naturally and do it. I think we're ready for that now.
It's just to stay calm and collected while, you know, walking into that intimidating studio and you think, okay, here it is. And you just don't want to, you know, go blank.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning, the boys were very focused on talking about the product, and it was very product focused. So I think the evolution has been to be more holistic in the pitch, about the business, about how they're managing the business. There was something that came through strongly from the judges, that they wanted to see the systems that were being put in place for the business to survive over the long term. So yeah, I think the pitch is perfect as it is. We've done a lot of work on it, nitpicking every single word, and I think you guys have been really diligent at that. So I'm just really looking forward to the final.
Oops, in all that excitement, I nearly forgot to introduce tonight's judging panel. Without further ado, for the first time from ENGEN Petroleum, we welcome Nkosingani Sitseba to the judging panel. In her usual seat, we have Monique China from Nedbank. And once again from Race Corp, Alon Rays. Let's join them now as Gujju enters the arena.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You do understand that this is the final pitch and it's 3 minutes.
Yes.
Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Good afternoon. My name is Viljoen de Kok,
And I'm Peter du Plessis.
and we are from a proudly South African company called Gujju. Gujju is an Afrikaans acronym, and it stands for Goedheid uit die grond uit, roughly translated as goodness from the earth. Myself and Peter has a passion for wellness. We both lost 30 kilograms, but we couldn't find a suitable sugar-free cordial out there, so we decided to create one ourselves.
So we put the fun back into sugar-free. But it wasn't always fun. Let me tell you, it was 5 years of hard work and having no money at all. I remember when we couldn't pay the phone bill. Can you remember that?
I do.
And I think we were really lucky that, I mean, we both took turns on wanting to quit, and luckily it wasn't on the same day.
Now we manufacture sugar-free cordials with 10 times less calories and 0 aftertaste. And that is what sets us apart. Our secret patent-pending sugar-free blend called Sugo.
So we tried a similar thing with our competition with sucralose, and it didn't sell. So now we distribute to over 500 retailers across Southern Africa. Our shelf life is over 2 years, and we have a proven record, track record. This year we're already on 110% growth on turnover. So our gross profit is 63% and our net profit is 35%. In January, we're going to invest 600,000 Rand to import our own raw materials, which will increase our margins by another 10%. So with Spar DC, Macro, and now Pick and Pay on board, we expect to be in 800 shops next year, and then also in 2023 we will reach 1,000.
And with this kind of growth, we need to scale. So we simplified our product range. We've identified a bigger factory space that's more suitable for our business. We're going to employ specialist staff, especially a new accountant. We're going to allocate 5% to our marketing and advertising budget. And we opted for standalone machines instead of a big machine, and that reduced our production risk. We've also got a good business system in place. My dad passed away the 17th of August. We had to go away for 3 weeks to attend to family matters, and Gujju ran smoothly.
Just shows you our systems and processes are really in place. Our barriers to entry is our secret sugar-free blend called Sugo, patents and trademarks, exclusive supplier agreements, and a strong brand. So we don't have enough cash flow, and because we spend all our money back into the business, and that's why we really need the 650,000 Rand for automation and standardization to increase our output and to reduce unit costs. Wow.
Yeah, we made it.
That, gentlemen, is your final pitch for ENGEN Pitch and Polish. How did you think you did?
I think we did okay. We just wanted to thank each and every one of you
Afterwards,
No kissing up, did it?
Well, it's in the pitch.
That was the last line.
All right, let's start with you, Ngane.
Okay, thank you guys for the pitch. My question is around the expansion. You've mentioned Pick and Pay now, and there is Macro. And for the 650,000, it's more around automation that you want to do, which I understand will help you to fulfill all the business that you're getting in. So the question is, what will be the impact if this 650 goes to someone else on your plans and all the...
Do you want to answer, or shall I?
Yeah, we've got our staff is in place to do what we have to do in our business to fulfill the orders. So if we don't get it, it will be a bit of a blow because we need it. It will just make it quicker and faster for us. But if we don't get it, we have staff and we can employ them and we can make it work.
Our current capacity is, well, we're currently making 5,000 bottles a month. Our capacity with one shift is 25,000 bottles, and we can do 3 shifts, and we can up it to 75,000.
And that's in a month.
No. After that, we need to move into that bigger factory with the equipment that we hopefully will get.
Okay, thank you.
Right, Monique.
I'm so impressed that you finally brought through the Sugo. It took a while, but I'm really impressed that you brought.
Well, I hope you're impressed with the mock-up that we made here, and
if anything, at least you've left with that.
Yes. Now we listen.
Good. So, looking through your financials, your cost of sales are nearly 60% of your income. Is that really sustainable? Is that true? Is it? Talk to me about how much you're spending to actually create the product.
So the cost of sales, I'm not sure, I don't have that paper in front of me, but our ingredients are really expensive. I'm not sure if that figure is actually correct, the cost of sales. So what I do know is that we worked out, according to the formulas, that our gross profit and our net profit is accurate. Cost of sales is high because we don't compromise on our ingredients. So that's really important to us. And we only bottle in glass, which also ups the quality, but also ups the costs.
I just want to add, and that is why we want to import the raw materials. If we import the raw materials, we cut the cost by half. Because we're currently paying really a lot of money for the xylitol, and if we import it, it's half the price, and that helps tremendously with our
That's where
unit costs.
we will need Nedbank to help us with
Yes.
that as well.
I'll get my banker to call you.
Oh, thank you.
And no soliciting on the show.
Oh, the hustle is real.
The hustle is real. Last question, which is a horrible question. I'm just getting you ready. You were asked to submit your financials. When we looked at your financials, we saw that the numbers that you have been pitching do not correspond with the financials that you delivered. We spoke about this in our grilling of you earlier today. You know, if you are the winners and you get the 650,000 rand, like, how do we know you're going to even know what to do with it? I mean, your financials are in such poor state. Like, what are you going to do differently now that you hopefully are alerted to the fact that your financials have completely let you down?
Yeah, like we said, employing a specialist accountant.
The first
and
thing we're going to
firing
do
the
is fire
previous
our
one.
existing one.
Because it made no sense while we sat with you up there. It doesn't even correspond with our bank account.
So luckily we sent you the bank statements, and based on our turnover is what the growth in our pitch is all about. So that was really embarrassing to sit there and you know highlight that to us, because we do not understand those financials, and we need to.
All right, gentlemen, Pieter and Fillion, thank you for all your participation.
Thank you.
It's now down to the final decision, which will happen a little later. But you can now go and rest and maybe put some vodka in one of those cordials, and we'll see you later to see if you indeed get through to number 1, number 2, or number 3.
Thank you very much.
As our kids said,
She was the best.
She was the best. Thank you.
Oh my word. Clearly the judges' questions are going to be a whole new level of challenging this final round. They were particularly harsh about the finances. Next up tonight, we have Omar from Plus Fab. The ENGEN Pitch and Polish crew also paid her a visit to her business premises. Let's take a look.
Entrepreneurship for some starts early. For me, it started really very late, you know. I was just a normal child going to school. I just pretty much had to be independent very, very early, but I just needed to make sure that I make my mom proud for going to school and passing and doing well. I remember my first business was to do events. I really loved events, and you know, I would get an opportunity here and there, and then after that, I then did a lot of branding. But all of that, I really did it for money, right? It was for money. I was just, you know, sussing out things that I would love. And when I started fashion, that's when everything made sense. I've always struggled to get clothes, you know, when going to events. You are now in charge of that event. You actually need to be coming through looking really awesome, and that was a struggle all the time. And I could not understand why retail shops did not allow, or why retail shop will not necessarily have fashionable clothes in my size. They made money of our insecurities. I was coming from a family that loved me. You know, that I could not understand how the world could be cruel and my family could be this amazing, you know. And that's when I realized, when I entered the world and interacted with different kinds of people, that I realized that, oh, it's actually not so nice being who I am. And then I realized that there's a lot of people who are willing to even pay double the amount of money that I spent, you know. And that's how, you know, Plus Fab was born. And I always say life gave me lemons and I made lemonade. I needed to, one, be the change I wanted to see, two, trust in my own definition of what I deem beautiful. I always design what I would like to buy, you know. It must be something I could wear to somewhere. Because it's very important for me to sell what I see, what is the truth for me. If I'm for somebody, good. If I'm not for you, good as well. But at least I have defined myself. At least I have understood and gotten in peace with the fact that I am me, and that's very important.
Before Omar heads into the pitching arena, let's find out how she's feeling pre-pitch.
Whoa, lots of emotions. My mascara is not waterproof, so I don't want to cry. But yeah, I want this to be done, honestly. I really want this to be done because it has really challenged me in ways I've never imagined. And yeah, I'm proud of myself as well. I never thought I would be here, you know, I've never thought I would be here at all. So, yeah. Told you my words.
She's not helping.
I know, right? Blame it on him.
I'm excited. I'm so proud of her. I really am, because she just kept doubting herself every step of the way, and the closer she got, the more I'm like, this is it. We are almost there. End of the road, end of the line. So I'm just really anticipating all the best. And whatever the results are, whatever comes out of this, it was such a beautiful learning experience for both her and for us. It was just a wonderful experience, a journey to walk with her. So I'm really just extremely proud of you, Miss O. I really am.
I'm always such an emotional person. Like, she has been wonderful to me. She's just taken me under her wing, and I've grown mentally, you know, I've grown personally, I've matured, and I'm very proud of her too, you know. She's a big push and a big motivator in this life.
I'm very proud, super proud. I mean, I generally see results after, let's say, a year when someone has been here in terms of our normal programs. This was like a fast-tracked 2.5 months, you know, but she's an implementer. And I think when I look at what I'm seeing here, just real-time impact, real-time feedback, real-time results, it's just so overwhelming. And I'm really proud of you. And I'm very happy to see the team. I've always said to her, we need to see the team. We need context. You know, you're not just here. And this morning we were speaking, and she was saying, I'm here, but I'm not alone. There's an army of people, and I feel it. And I think, thanks for showing us part of the army.
Now here, for her final pitch of the competition, is Omar.
Hello, Omar.
Hello.
You appear out of the clouds as a vision.
That was the plan, and also to honor the heritage, since it's Heritage Month.
And have you taken into consideration everything that you've learned so far in this pitch? Is this pitch going to be different to your other pitches, or is it the same?
It's going to be much better.
Much better. Great. Omar, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Hi, my name is Omar Dema. I'm the creative and founding director of a fashion brand for fully figured women, Plus Fab. Started 10 years ago from the boot of my car, the garage of my apartment, and now a fully fledged factory in Pretoria. We're currently a business to customer with 2 revenue streams, which is retail through our retail partner, The Space, which operates in KZN, Gauteng, and the Western Cape. We also have an online store that services the rest of South Africa. We design and manufacture ready-to-wear collection, custom-made collection, and bridal collection, which we launched this year in celebration of our 10 years in business. What set us apart, you might ask? We don't sell you the fashion. We don't sell you what fit. We sell you the timeless fashion that transcends in all seasons. We want to reposition our business as a business to business that can still do business to customer. With the 650,000, we intend to utilize it on the following to mitigate risks and move up our value chain. Digitalizing our manual system from production, inventory, and distribution, and also investing in fabric printing machinery. This will help us to protect our institutional memory and for sustainability and replicability. Most importantly, this will help us launch ourselves as a business to business and add revenue streams and attract clients like corporates for uniform and hospitals for PPE and hospital wear. Last financial year, we achieved 45% gross profit with only 7% profit margin. This investment will help us to achieve 65% gross profit with 25% profit margin, helping us to grow our current 49% procurement spend on previously disadvantaged businesses to 57 to 57%. We invite you to help us grow a company that is systems dependent and not people dependent, a company with a potential to scale.
Thank you, Omar. All right, it's time for questions. You had lots of time left over. Monique, let's start with you.
Welcome back, Omar.
Thank you.
You're looking absolutely glamorous as always. I love it. When it comes to your spend and the volumes that you say you're doing, I'm not quite convinced that the unique printing machine is what you need. Explain to me why you need to get a machine, the printer, as opposed to sorting out your sort of operations and that kind of thing.
So we operate in a fast fashion world where we don't have a lot of places where we can buy our fabrics, right? So we run the risk of always using a fabric with another designer in store, and that doesn't set us apart when we sell our clothes. Secondly, when you want to attract companies, corporate companies or hospitals to brand their uniform or all of that, then it means that you are going to have to, if you get that deal, you will always have to outsource that part of the printing of the customization of that fabric, and that will not make you leverage more on your profit margins.
Okay.
Yes, thanks, Omar. My question is also around the investment. What do you project will be a jump in your revenue, sales, for example, with this investment, if you get this machine?
We project additional,
we
project additional 20% sales jump with this investment, because now we're going to be having corporate. We are now going to be a business to business, and selling the fabric if somebody wants fabric, but also selling the fabric and the production of that, and on top of that, selling them the design and the pattern making, which we have in-house currently. So we currently have the CMT and the pattern making. We'll add the fabric, customized fabric, to our sales jump, to our sales projection.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so tough question now from me, which I'm asking everyone. I'm not just picking on you, Omar. When we looked at your financials, we asked you to submit your financials from March and prior. There seemed to be absolutely no revenue. It seems like only your financials came through from March, April this year. You mentioned the fact that you've changed over bookkeeper, but certainly you would have had a previous bookkeeper that would have produced financials for you, even if, they were maybe wrong, but those weren't submitted. So could you tell me now, if you win the 650,000 Rand, how can we as judges be convinced that you will know what to do with that money, and that if we were investors in the business, that we could trust the numbers moving forward?
I think the reason why I changed my accounting firm was precisely that, of inadequate, clear financials that I required from them. And I started this journey with the new financial accounting, and I think the fact that I moved from them to this one showed how interested I am to solve it, but also making sure that we are not only compliant, but we understand the numbers, and that shows with the improvement of what the financials looks like now. We still have a long way to go.
I think that was a good answer, but those financials, you'll need to work with your bookkeeper because those financials were still completely out of whack. Your cost of sales was in the wrong place. It was completely out of whack. So there's still a lot of work to do. And we've got a lot of work still to do. So as per your kid judges said, you may go.
Thank you.
Seriously? The judges are really taking no prisoners when it comes to the questions tonight. Just like Peter and Viljoen, they pushed Omar really hard when it came to her financials. Before we get on to our wild card, if you've been following us on social media, you'll know that we have been on the hunt for the biggest fan of the ENGEN Pitch and Polish program. We've been challenging all of our followers to like, share and comment on everything Pitch and Polish. But what we haven't said is that our biggest fan will be walking away with an absolutely amazing prize. He or she will be enjoying a 2-night stay for 2 people at the Radisson Blu Gautrain Hotel. That's right, our biggest fan gets to stay in a lap of luxury for 2 whole nights, courtesy of the Radisson Blu Gautrain Hotel. Who's our greatest fan, I hear you ask? The name being posted on our Facebook page right now. We need to get on with our 3rd and final pitch for tonight. As the wild card, we haven't gotten to know Lemo like our other 2 finalists. We did, however, manage to pay him a visit at his business where we got to learn a little more about him there.
Biker, entrepreneur, bikerpreneur, founder, problem solver. That's me, 5 words. I come from a huge family, raised by a single mom and raised by my grandmother as well. My first introduction into entrepreneurship was through my grandmother, who ran a spaza shop at home and also sold liquor. Entrepreneurs Day, I won that in grade 7, so it was one of the highlights. It still stands out, you know. What came naturally to me was being a creative and being a problem solver. So I'm very creative, you know. I like to come up with concepts. Luckily, some of them, you know, are born and die in my head because, you know, sometimes you got to be able to analyze and see, okay, a good idea doesn't necessarily mean a good business. The aha moment that birthed urban mobility was when I decided to invest in the delivery, in the motorbike delivery space, and become a delivery driver on Mr. D. As I learned the industry, I realized some of the challenges and the opportunities that lie in the industry. And looking at the growth of e-commerce and online shopping, I realized that, okay, I could move from, you know, being a delivery person to employing other people, you know, to have a fleet of my own bikes doing deliveries. So I went on and started looking for drivers. So the search for riders, for motorbike riders, was in a sense what you know, birthed urban mobility, because it was a struggle. You know, a lot of majority of South Africans you know, aren't trained to ride motorcycles and are not licensed. So we do motorbike training, we do bike fleet and servicing, all in one. In fact, let me just show you our vision. Here's our future vision of urban mobility. Here we'll be doing our training in-house at our training yard. Here we have our mechanical workshop where all the bikes will be fixed. Here we have our showroom where clients can see our bikes. And here we have our office with the parking. And this is where everything will be happening at Urban Mobility.
Remember, tonight is the first and only chance that Lemo has to pitch his business. I caught up with him a bit early on to see how he's feeling ahead of his once-in-a-lifetime pitch.
Lemo has huge potential. I think he's identified a very niche market and there's huge demand for what he's offering. And as a result, we dived through the numbers, we went quite in depth, we tried to break down, you know, where is the market potential in this business. And just in a few, just over a year or so that you have been operating, he's had tremendous growth. I think his chances are really, really great. I think if, you know, the judges see what I've seen just in the few short sessions we've had, I think he's got this.
So the guiding session with Joanne was, you know, fantastic because we had to, you know, try to incorporate as much as we can because of the limited time. But we covered as much as we could, and like you say, the finance guru wizard, so that helped as well because she's, you know, she's going to ask you about those questions. You know, she's going to ask you about, you know, what this number means, and if it's not making sense, then you need to also ask yourself that, okay, what have I missed here in terms of my financials and statements? So that has sharpened, that has sharpened me in terms of preparing for the competition. In a normal setting, I sell, my company every day. I speak with customers every day when I'm waiting in line at the bank, or, I say, look, hey, are you interested in becoming a biker? Would you like to learn how to ride? Coming here shouldn't change that, right? So she said, look, when you're coming here, don't change, don't be sort of consumed or taken aback by the cameras and the whole, wild card and, pitching in front of judges. Just be confident in the business and
remember
express
to breathe.
Exactly.
Time for Lemo to make his stand in front of the judges.
Lemo, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So this is your first and final pitch for ENGEN Pitch and Polish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you had lots of holes there in your jeans there. Is that from falling off your motorbike all the time? Huh?
No, it's just my style.
It's just your style.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing your style,
I'm
your
a
pitch.
safe rider, yeah.
You're a safe rider?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw outside you had your motorbike. We were worried you were going to ride in on your motorbike.
There was not enough space. I wanted to, but...
Lemo, are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Did you know that South Africa has 8,000 motorbike delivery riders? This number is expected to increase to 12,000 by the end of next year. 95% of these riders are foreign nationals who came into the country as asylum seekers. Most of them are not properly licensed, and this is a problem. We at Urban Mobility train these riders and help them to get licensed. We at Urban Mobility help these riders to get licensed. We train these riders to get licensed who are looking to work on Uber Eats, Mr. D, and Checker 6060. Hi, everyone. My name is Lemo Motswane, and I'm the founder of Urban Mobility. We're a motorbike solutions company. We're a bike riding school, a bike fleet management company, and a bike service. We train people who want to work on Mr. D, Uber Eats, and Checker 6060. We train people who want to work on these platforms because of the booming online shopping industry. Our riding school trains people who want to learn to ride and become delivery riders. Last year, we trained 163 riders to become licensed. We've seen the emergence of online shopping in South Africa, and there's a need for motorbikes in the industry. We've seen Pick n Pay launch ASAP. We've seen Dis-Chem launch Delivery D, and we've also seen Take-A-Lot are starting to now move into grocery deliveries. Last year, we had revenues of 367,000 Rand. Our gross profit was 44,000 Rand, and our net profit was 31,000 Rand. With the 650,000 Rand investment from the competition, we are looking to invest in 15 motorbikes. These 15 motorbikes will cost 450,000 Rand. Part of the money we are also going to use to open a branch in Cape Town. To open this branch, this will cost 118,000 Rand. We're also going to include bike rentals in our offering. Bike rentals goes for 800. We charge 800 per week and 2,000 and 3,200 per month for bike rentals. We truly believe that our company is the best suited and the best positioned in the current economy, and we believe that we have the best business case in this competition. Let me make an example. With ENGEN, we believe the riders should fuel with ENGEN only and earn points so that they can get a free service from Urban Mobility. With Nedbank, these riders...
Lemo. Oh. Sure. At least he mentioned Nedbank.
At least we mentioned.
Yeah, at least he mentioned Nedbank. Let's go to you, Monique.
Well done on your first pitch.
Thank you.
In the pitch deck that we've got, You mentioned that insurance, short-term insurance, is something that you're going to look to self-fund. Whilst I know that insurance purchases are always a grudge purchase, in your industry with bikes and training, and surely that's a very high risk.
Yeah, insurance is very important in the industry that we have, but specifically for rentals. So the bikes that we're going to use for rentals, it's important to have those insured. And the bikes that we use for training, it's important to have those insured, but then with those ones, you have an option of being self-insured. This allows you to don't have to deal with issues of excess. I mean, imagine paying excess for something that's not too large of a damage. So it's better sometimes to self-insure, have a pool of that money, and be able to replace and repair the bikes when need be, when a repair happens, especially on the training side. But on the rental side, it's very important for the bikes to be insured.
And do you have that pool of money that you're keeping aside?
Yes, we do have that money that we putting aside. But obviously, as we ramp up the business, that money will increase more and more.
Okay. You mentioned 15 bikes that you want to buy. What do you expect that to do for your business? And now I'm talking more specific on where these 15 bikes will go and what will they do for the revenue generation in your business.
Yeah. So currently, if we look at the 15 bikes, there have been 10 of these motorbikes who will be earmarked for rentals to riders who are working on these various online platforms. But then 5 of them, we're getting a request from startups and smaller companies to partner with them and become their delivery partner as they're launching their products. So we come in with our bikes and riders and help them and charge them at a certain rate, to become the delivery partner as they're testing out their companies.
Okay. So let's say you get the 650 and you get the bikes in November, the 15th. What will that do for your revenue with all these different things that you want to do?
Yeah, no, it will be a great help for our revenue because, like I said, the bike rental are charged at a rate of 800 per week, and it works out to 3,200 per month. So each bike you're getting that. But in terms of our costs on the bikes, it's the insurance, it's the tracker on the bike, and the servicing. So from that 3,200, you minus those costs, and you're left with 2,550. Which is the money that is left after our expenses. But then the bikes, in terms of the riders, they're responsible for the petrol. They're responsible if the bike does get damaged and it's because of negligence. They're responsible, for to cover those amount that cost for the riders. Yeah.
Lemo, from a competition point of view, just talk to me about competition. We didn't see much around. We saw it in your pack, but we didn't hear it so much in the pitch and why you're different. Because it sounds to me that, there's a lot of big players in this market that have also seen this opportunity, who've got financial muscle, who can outprice you, who've got the insurance and got the volume. So what's different about you and how are you going to compete against the big guys?
Yeah. Our competitors, especially on the rental side, we're finding that most of our competitors don't do exactly what we do. So we do the training, the servicing, and the bike fleet. Most of them either are just doing the rentals, the fleet side, or it's a riding school or training school just doing on the training side. So we are different because we train in-house already. We have a riding school. We rent out to people that we have trained ourselves. That mitigates the risk of bikes being stolen or going missing or being ridden in a certain way because you're renting out to someone that you don't particularly know. So the screening for us starts from the point of training to a point where until we're satisfied that this person is worthy of us renting the bikes to them. Competitors, yes, they do have more money than us, But because we're on the ground, we understand the industry so much because we're with riders each and every day, and we know the challenges of the industry, and we know where the opportunities lie. So we are more flexible than the bigger players. And we have a model that's different, like I mentioned, on the rental side, because we don't just rent out willy-nilly. We rent out to people that we've trained.
Okay, last question from me is around the financials. And we grilled you earlier on your financials. I know you've got an accountant who put together your financials, which we mentioned weren't signed. But I know you did say you would get him to sign them, but they're unsigned financials. And there seems to be, even within there seem to be some inconsistencies. How are we, if we are investors putting 650,000 Rand into your business, how will we know that you understand your numbers and would be able to reflect whether or not we've made a good investment or not? What's Lemo's relationship with the numbers? Not your bookkeeper, your relationship.
Yeah. Because I'm the founder and CEO of the company, I'm very hands-on in terms of the numbers and knowing exactly where our spending and our finances are going. So in terms of the numbers themselves, I'm able to know that are we at a rate, at a situation where are we not doing so well, or we need to adapt and improve our model in some way. If you look at the financials that are presented, in June and July were quite difficult months because of there was a level 4, there was a lockdown, and also there was some turbulence in the country. But then we were able to mitigate against that because we are so flexible that we're in the delivery space and we work with riders. Some of our guys in-house, we're able to supplement income and be able to go out there and actually ride ourselves if need be to generate income into the company.
Okay, Lemo, thank you. Well done for your first and final pitch for ENGEN Pitch and Polish. You may leave.
Thank you.
All right, judges. After many weeks, we're finally here. Final pitches have been done now. Alon, let me start with you. How are you feeling about today's pitches?
Definitely for the first two, great improvements, more relaxed. I think Lemo was very nervous. It's a little unfair, but he came back strong. Yeah, I think the big issue across all three is the numbers.
Absolutely. Monique, you've been here from the beginning, from the top 16. How are you feeling about the contestants' improvement from the first time you heard them to now?
You can definitely see the improvement. And it's so good to see that the feedback that is given is not taken in a sort of that they're not resistant to it. You can see that they've adopted it, and it can only take their businesses from strength to strength. So it's really good to see that.
Mane, you just joined us for this finale, by the way. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you? What is your thought? You've obviously been watching from home, the quality of contestants this year.
As Alon said, you can see the difference between the first two and the last one, which really talks into what the process does for each contestant as they go through the competition. You can definitely see that. But happy, all of them were quite good.
I love that. Well, the tough work begins now. For the very last time ever on ENGEN Pitch and Polish 2021, you're about to go into deliberations. You've got an hour to do so. We'll catch up with you guys later. Wow, it looks like the judges are having a serious back and forth about it all. And it's little wonder, because ENGEN Pitch and Polish is not just about the pitches and the personalities, it's also about the businesses and how well they're positioned for success. Well, our judges were away for absolutely ages, but it appears that they have now made their decision. And I'm sure it wasn't easy at all. For the final time in the competition, let's join our judges and find out who will be crowned the ultimate winner.
Contestants, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know who's in a worse position. Us sitting here, who've been debating for about 2.5 hours today, going through all the scores, or you guys who've been waiting for the answer. And then Lemo pitches up as the wild card out of the blue, and he's competing with the two other companies. So how are you feeling?
Excited.
Amma?
Nervous.
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 Lemo?
Mixed emotions, but excitement is the one that stands out.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to explain to you what's been going on and particularly to the audience what's been going on. Pitch and Polish is not like any other pitching competition. ENGEN Pitch and Polish is designed to be about the pitch and the polish. In other words, the difference between how you started and how you ended. But most importantly, ENGEN Pitch and Polish is about the substance underneath. What we don't want is the winner to take the money and then blow it because they didn't have the capability to use it properly. So we go through extreme lengths to understand your financials. You'll know we asked you for your bank statements. So we've been checking your bank statements over the last couple of weeks. Every time one of the contestants says something, we go back and see if it's there in the bank statements, because the bank statements show the cash flow in the business. Every time one of the contestants speaks about what they have done or about to do, we go into your financials and we ask you all for your financials to see if your financials represent what you're saying. And do your financials represent what your bank statement is saying? And then when we look forward at your projections, because we asked you all to give us 3 projections going forward, do your projections reflect the use of the 650,000 Rand cash properly in a way that will be both sustainable and be able to scale the business? Because what we need in South Africa today is we need sustainable, scaled businesses that are employing people and are building generational wealth and bringing more and more businesses into their ecosystem to support them, to supply them, that they supply the economy. So we've been thinking about this in a very holistic way over the last couple of months. We've looked at your pitches. Have they improved? And indeed they have. Lemo, you didn't have the opportunity for that, did you? You had one single go at it. You entered as a wild card for ENGEN Pitch and Polish and you got in. And here you could walk away with the main prize of 650,000 Rand plus the 350,000 Rands worth of incubation. Or you could walk away with the second prize of 100,000 Rand just for filling out that form. Or at the very worst, you're going to walk away with 50,000 Rand for filling out a form and coming and being nervous for 3 minutes, right? But Gujju, Omar, you've run the whole gauntlet from where there were 16 of you to where you are today. And I have to say the transformation we've seen in the 2 groups, yeah, it has been absolutely phenomenal. So now we have the unenviable task as judges, and you saw how long we took we went through the scores, we checked the numbers, we checked everything to make this decision. So let me start with giving some feedback, because ENGEN Pitch and Polish is about feedback so all entrepreneurs can learn. Let's start with you, Lemo. On the positive, you know, you had that bit of a stuttering moment in the beginning where you lost, you know, you had a freak out in your head. And I must say, I think all the judges and probably everyone watching, just their hearts went out to you, and you stood up again and you came back again very, very, very strong. The questions, the Q&A section, you answered incredibly well. There were some tough questions there, and you answered the Q&A very, very well. It showed me that you, what you spoke about there was the fact that you can maneuver, and we can see that you certainly can maneuver. But the thing that brought you down was your numbers. In the financials, you had one of the best financial submissions, but even in there, it was all out of whack. When you compared what you were saying to the financials, to the bank statements, there was no alignment. Your stars did not align. And the big thing that you need to take from this experience is the financials are everything. Everything. You can't get your friend to sign off. You've got to know the numbers. And the other thing that you did really, really well was you spoke about, you know, the fact that, you know, everyone's getting into this home delivery and this the fact that there was demand. But what you didn't get across to us judges was the connection of how you were going to get that work. You didn't close that gap for us. You didn't say, this is the demand and this is how I'm going to get the demand. We never heard that. So you just said, like, there's lots of people who want what I do, but you didn't show us how you were going to actually get that. And that lost you a lot of points. Peter and Fillion, on the positive, your personality came out really, really well. There was a lot of laughter, banter between the two of you, and it was far more relaxed than before, far more relaxed. And I wrote here, not defensive. I came at you quite hard, we came at you quite hard, and there was no defensiveness in it. But what let you down really, really badly was the financials. And you didn't submit the financials in a way that we understood, nor were they correct, and we had to rely on your bank statements. We went back to your bank statement to see, are these guys telling the truth or not? Because your financials weren't saying it. You didn't know what the answers were. We were talking about 65 and 43% growth, but your financials said one thing, but your bank statements said it was true. So you were lucky you submitted the bank statement. If there's one thing you have to learn, is that you cannot outsource knowing the numbers to anyone else. You have to, if I phone you at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to say, what's your cost of sales percentage? You've got to have to say it's 63%. You got to know, like, day in and day out. Otherwise, you will never build a sustainable business. Omar, on the positive, you just get better and better. I mean, you also get, you know, I think what was incredible is, like, I think you planned this. Like, each dress was more beautiful than the next. Every time you walked out of the shadows there, it was, you took our breath away as judges. And I think you were very clever in how you did that. And today you look absolutely magnificent. You live your brand better than anyone else there. You live your brand. You totally live your brand. You answered Monique's question around, you know, using getting a printer to print fabric. You answered that question really, really well. And I think there's been a huge increase in your appreciation for numbers. But the gap now coming to the negative after 10 years in business, you know, that your books are still in such a shambles, in such a terrible state. You didn't explain the demand that strongly, whereas Lemo spoke about the demand and showed how he didn't show how he was going to close it. We didn't get a good sense of the actual demand. Like, what was how big could this get? It wasn't coming through. So that's all three of you. The worst part of ENGEN Pitch and Polish is to announce the second runner-up. The second runner-up, the winner of 50,000 Rand, is Omar. So who is going to win ENGEN Pitch and Polish 2021? Who is going to win? Is it the new guy who you can see 650,000 Rand in his business is going to skyrocket him, and all of a sudden he's going to be opening up in Cape Town and all over the world? Or is it our two Cape Townians who are already there, you know? And you said in your pitch, you know, we will handle it. When Ngane asked you, what would you do if you didn't win? You said, you know, we'd carry on. It'd be nice to have the money, but you'd carry on and you could produce. So, who is going to win ENGEN Pitch and Polish 2021? And the winner for ENGEN Pitch and Polish 2021 is Gujju.
Give me a hug. Thank you so much. Well, I think I did this for my dad. He believed in me and he said, follow your dreams. And we won. So, very emotional for me today. And yeah, this is for you.
And it's going to really excel our business. Like we couldn't have done on our own. So it's such a privilege, and what we've learned. I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
So it's totally overwhelming.
And I think the incubation that we're going to get out of this as well is going to push us in a whole new direction, and we need it. So yeah, we're very happy about that.
I want to start off with Race Corp and thanking them for what they taught us over the past few months. I mean, it's just priceless. I'm blown away. And then, of course, the main sponsors. I mean, it wouldn't have been possible without ENGEN and Nedbank as well.
Absolutely.
So it's just, we're just grateful.
And then obviously our mentor, Daryl, he helped us to do this pitch and he helped us to win. So this is for Daryl as well.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap for the 2021 ENGEN Pitch and Polish program. It's been such an incredible journey, and a huge congratulations to all of our semi-finalists, our finalists, and of course, Peter and Felion of Gujju. To the victor goes the spoils. We will catch you back here next year. For me, I'm CZ James, and the rest of the team here at ENGEN Pitch and Polish, good night.